Hello everyone. So this is another reading from my book Pieces, 52 short stories about being human. This is chapter 37, Utopia. And to be honest, I've really struggled to pick a big bit to read, so in order for it to make sense. But in the end, I just decided to read you the beginning, and we'll see where we get with that. This is one of the longer chapters, as I had a lot to say on the subject. But yeah, here we go. We are in charge of our environment, unlike plants that are rooted in one place, unlike domesticated animals who are pegged down and subject to our will, unlike wild animals depending on the land we leave them. We have choices. If the land does not feed us, we can nurture it, rest it, or leave it. If the people around us don't please us, we can stop seeing them. If we don't like what we're doing or how we live in our lives, we can change that. So why don't we? We've domesticated ourselves. We've pegged ourselves down with mortgages, and loans and desires for material things. We've rooted ourselves to one place with our limiting beliefs of what we are capable of and what is possible for us. Most of all, we've become fearful of leaving a designated territory. Someone somewhere has decided that based on when, where, and to whom you were born, based on your gender, race, religion, and language you were taught, you are only allowed to live on a piece of land assigned to you, eat and drink what is given to you, and live your life in a way that is expected of you. So whether you are a rooted plant, a victim of your circumstances, the domesticated kind, pegged down with responsibilities, or the wild one, living in an illusion of freedom within the walls of a safari. Perhaps now is the time to wake up to the reality of the fact that you don't have to be any of these things. You can reach your true potential and be who you really are, a free human being that cannot own, that cannot be owned, that is not bound by borders, nor other people's rules. I think when you just read this bit, it kind of comes across as, oh my god, she's anarchist, she's saying we should all just fall into chaos, and it's a rebellion, and it's like it's gonna go crazy. And the thing is, I really believe that in our core we are all good, that all our intentions are good, and that sometimes we kind of laid straight into our darkness. We also all have darkness within us, and I think if we don't have enough nurturing through various reasons, war and poverty, or lack of education, parents who have their own mental health issues and sorts. If we don't have enough nurturing, the darkness can take over. We can start believing that we are only the darkness, and I think that's what brings chaos to the world, not our real nature of love and compassion and kindness, because I think even biologically we are led to cooperation. The thing is, I think, because the world's changed so much, is that the cooperation is now required not only within your little tribe, little family, but the whole world. For this world to work in the way we live, we all have to cooperate. We must eliminate the nonsensical disagreements and wars, and start to work with each other on all levels. So as countries, as cities, but as humans as well, as people. And despite the appearances, as how things are looking now, I really think we can get there, and we can get there pretty quickly. I think actually the way things are now, it's like you know, when you have to dig the ground to make it to kind of aerate and make it fertile to be able to plant seeds. And with that, you also kind of dig out all roots that you want to get rid of. This is what's happening right now. We are airing the ground. We are digging out the old stuff that's been buried there and not really visible. It was just under the surface and we didn't even know it was there. And it's the kind of those thick, deep roots of weeds that then ruin your the stuff you plant that you want to grow. So I think getting rid of these weeds, you know, airing the ground, getting it some compost, which smells a bit and it's not pleasant, but it's so nurturing. And I think if we can kind of, you know, get through this stage, the spring will come and our seeds will take and they will grow and they'll be amazing, and you know, they will be life-giving. And I think we can really get there and be almost there. You know, we just need to now get through the winter, metaphorically, not necessarily just this one winter. It might take a bit longer than just a few months, but I think things will get seemingly worse before they get better, because we need to dig out those bits that are uncomfortable, those bits we don't like, those bits that make things more difficult and unpleasant and dangerous even, and we need to get rid of them. And you know, of course I'm talking, you know, racism and intolerance and greed and violence and all this, and it's gonna take time, because all these things are parts of us, you know, they're the darker parts of us, but we all have the light, and I really truly believe the light will prevail, and I really believe that we can save this planet. And well, we don't need to save the planet, we need to save ourselves. So we need to save the environment, to maintain it to be human friendly, because the planet will be here still, you know, no matter how much we ruin it, the planet itself will survive us. You know, it's got a few billion years to go, and it can be there without us. But if we as a human race want to survive, we need to maintain environment that's human friendly. And at the moment we are not doing that. We're doing the opposite. It's like you know, if the bacteria or viruses went around poisoning the environment they were living in and killing themselves. I mean, it's just insane. I think we like about the only form of being on this planet that's doing that, that's completely destroying its environment, and getting out of balance with it, to its own detriment. It just doesn't make sense. I don't understand how you can be so blinkered to it. But I still have hope. I can see it all around me, young people coming through, and not just Greta, like people I know personally who are in the early 20s, teenagers who are so passionate about changing the way we live, the way we think. Is so much more open-minded, open-hearted. It's amazing. And I know there's also the stories of the teenager who, you know, stab each other, and if we get involved in crime and stuff, lost kids that we somehow as a society really let down. And it's easier to happen in the big cities when we don't have that close community anymore. But I do believe even these kids can be saved and given enough love, enough patience and enough time. And it's something I'm working towards, and I will get there eventually, to start projects that help young people. For now I need to help this young person. But yeah, I think if everyone does just a little bit, or not even everyone, if like a third of the world's population does just a little bit to make this world a better place, we will change it, because the positive will outweigh the negative and the light will outweigh the dark, and we can do this. And if you want to know a little bit about how I envisioned that, then just read a chapter, it's all in there. You can get the book on Amazon in printed form or in Kindle form. And if you have some input, then please share it with me. I'm always keen to learn.